quilting friends, I'm Edyta Sitar from Laundry Basket Quilts. Welcome to Quilting Window, and I have a fun blog for you today. I have this brand new pattern called Babcia Square. We have pattern, we have beautiful kits, and from this pattern, I wanted to make a block with you. This block called Babcia Square, what means grandma square. Babcia means grandma in Polish, and I thought it would be fun to get together today and make this block. Are you in? I hope so. This is such a fun and easy block, and it's based on 1.5 by 6.5 simple scrappy strips. You can go ahead and get a kit. We have them available on our website, but you can also get into your stash and grab some scraps and work from them. I'm going to use the Twinkle collection, and I'm using pieces from the kit. I'm gonna make a one block with you guys, and once you make a one, you can make a dozen. And what is fun about this quilt, you can be making 1-2 blocks a day and enjoying yourself, and eventually you have a beautiful quilt. So I selected my fabrics. I chose the orange, purple for nice contrast, and a beautiful blue for accent. Now I have a light for my background. The background is always gonna be the same for all of the blocks. This piece is gonna vary in your colors, gonna vary in your blocks because you want a nice variety. And I chose a beautiful dark blue for a little center square. Now what you're going to do is you're gonna take your fat quarters and you're gonna cut strips from it. From those strips, you're gonna cut smaller strips at 6.5 inch. Pattern have exact directions what you need to do. So go ahead to our website. We very much appreciate you get the pattern, and that way you have all the measurements. Now I'm going to start lining my color options. We are gonna start with blue and move down to the orange right here. And what I like to do is, once I cut my fabrics, I start creating this color combination, and I pretty much stack them this way. Then that's my next stack. I'm gonna put it like this on my board. My next strip set has a lighter background strip, so this is different measurements. Okay, so it's a wider, the same length, and then the blue repeats again. So this is my third strip set, and the fourth piece that I'm gonna need is just a solid background piece, exact the measurements that we needed. Once I have all my pieces combined, I place them this way. I grab one of my fabric markers, and I'm gonna go ahead and set it up on the side, and I can move on to the next block. For now, because we're making one block, I'm gonna get right away into sewing. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start taking my pieces, paying attention, and make sure you have your pattern. And in the pattern, you're gonna open that first page right there where it shows you every strip set, what do you need to sew and how you're going to cut. So right there, you're gonna start by taking your strips, placing them right sides together, beautiful, and mark them, pin them on the top and pin them on the bottom right here. Okay, I want to make sure that I am exactly where I need to be. I don't pin it right at the beginning. I stay 1/4 inch. You can even stay a little bit further just to give you enough room that you can now place this edge under the foot of your sewing machine. I have a low leader here so my threads don't go away, and I'm gonna start sewing. I'm gonna pull my pin away. I'm gonna make sure that my strips are lined up really nice, and I'm gonna start sewing using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. In my sewing machine, I have a beautiful Orfil thread, and I'm using the 2312, what it's a little bit darker beige. It's really nice, or 2370 would work really nice too. I'm matching my thread to my background, to my light background. So the 2312 seemed to me very appropriate. Now I just finished my first piece. Then I'm gonna go ahead for my second set, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna lay the set next to me. I'm gonna start with 2 pieces, place them right sides together just like this, and keep sewing and enjoying myself. It's very important that you're keeping your pieces nicely organized so you don't mess up accidentally and put something in the wrong spot. So that way I'm focusing on one strip set and keep going. You can do a little chain sewing, mark, keep watching your pattern, so that way you have everything nicely organized. As soon as you finish your strip sets, then you're gonna go ahead and open it up the seams and push the seam allowance in the direction of the arrows. I'm gonna move forward and show you how I did it. I already went and did my strip sets for you, sewed them. So I start pushing my first strip set, all the seams go to the top. My second strip set, the seams go down, look at that. Then the next one, I have it again, seams go to the top, and then this is the last one, but this one is just my strip, no sewing on that one. I'm gonna position my strip sets on my cutting board just like that. I'm gonna make sure, and I look at this, you can go ahead and now it's time to cut them into sections, and I went a little bit quick for you guys, so you can go ahead and position one at a time and cut 1.5 inch strip sets. I have a little 1/4 inch sticking here. The strip is 6.5. If I need 4 strip sets, then it gives me a little bit room to trim it here and little room to trim it here, and I want that. That's why I designed this at 6.5. And you can go ahead and cut one at a time, but I want to show you, speed things up. You can layer them up one on the top of the other. When you layer them, make sure you don't layer your seams one on the top of the other. So notice how I shifted a little bit down, because guess what? I'm gonna show you guys how quickly I can cut my strip sets and have it everything nice and even and organized. When I lay them, I match them with my board. Everything is laying nice and flat. And I'm gonna start. I know that everything is laid up really nice. Do not trim a lot. You don't have that much room. You only have 1/2 inch, but I have enough to trim on one side, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm placing my ruler over the fabric that I'm protecting, that I needed, and I'm gonna gently trim it so this edge is perfect. I'm gonna rotate my board so that way I can go ahead. Everything is moving on my table when I rotate my board. I didn't prepare this appropriately, but look at this. Now I rotate my board and I can go ahead, shift my ruler this way. I perfectly match with the edge. I'm watching my seams right there, that they're matching with my line, but I'm relying on my ruler and also on my board for everything to be nice and straight. My board for laying my units, strip sets, for on my ruler to cut nice and straight and correct size. So I needed 1.5 inch, and I'm gonna be now gently cutting 1.5. Then I'm gonna go ahead, you can move this if it's in your way so you see the edge. Now go ahead and match it up, and I'm gonna make 4 cuts like this. Isn't that incredible? 4 cuts like this. Move it again if something moved more. Oh, one little thread was stuck here. That's okay. Guess what? I have everything is laying so nice. I can push it back and make sure that it's matching my board, that everything is nice and straight, and then follow my ruler when I'm cutting. If you feel more comfortable to cut one at a time, one strip at a time, so do it. I'm just showing you, look at this time, I'm gonna be smarter. I'm gonna place my ruler and then move this, because then my ruler is holding my strip sets. Now I'm gonna go ahead. This is my last one. This is really cute. And cut. So I just finished cutting, and I cut everything I need for one block. Why? Because I was prepared and ready, set, go for you guys. Look at this. Now I'm gonna start lay out my pieces so I can make blocks, and I'm gonna make 2 blocks to the left and 2 blocks to the right. Units, 2 units, not blocks. So right now I'm laying my pieces right away and being nice and organized, so that way when it comes to sewing, I have my left and a right side. So this is my right side, this is my left side right here, and these pieces going later on to be my sashing in the block. So I'm gonna take them, put them together, clip them with my little fabric marker, and place them to the side. All right, now it's time to sew. Oh, I'm so excited about sewing the units. I'm gonna be taking 2 pieces, right, just like this, one from unit number 2, one just unit number 3, and one from the plain background fabric. Place them right sides together. Look at this, and sew. And again, this is, I'm following a nice 1/4 inch seam allowance, and I'm paying attention that accidentally my seam doesn't flip. If you wanted to, you can pin to make sure that everything is matching. In this part right here, I wasn't worried about anything matching here, because there is no another color that has to match. I worry about top and the bottom that match. But when you matching this piece to this piece, you wanted to pin it. And how you going to do this is by placing the pieces right sides together, pin and pin, pin on the top, pin on the bottom, so that way it locks really nice for you, and then stitch. Okay, of course I wanted to first finish sewing this to this, so let me do that, and I show you a perfect example, because we don't want to jump to the ahead, but I was so excited to show you how nice your seams are going to match and lock, because you did incredible job pushing the seams in the correct direction. So right there, I just finished this unit. I have my little scissors. Let me clip this and this so we can show it to you how this is done. Look at this. And again, follow the arrows to press. As soon as you finish, you would have pressed your seam towards the dark, towards the center of the block. And now it's time to do next unit, so next unit to it, and that's exactly what I was showing you before. You're gonna place it right side together. You want the seam to lock, so you're gonna pin and pin. Make sure that when you're sewing and you come up to a seam allowance, I'm actually gonna pin it right on that seam allowance, because I don't want my foot to push this and flip it over for me. Now in the bottom, I do not have to worry, because notice the laying down, so no sewing against my seam allowance, so I should be really good. Match top and the bottom, it looks wonderful. And I have to tell you, if you do your strip sets and everything work out great, and you're pinning and pressing the correct way, you should be good to go on your next seams. And notice this, I just finished It is so cute. This is gonna be just one corner of the block. Look at that. It's this one, and you can then go ahead and do the same thing for your left side by just taking light strips, sewing together, then adding the strip set right here, sewing together. Make sure you match this seam. So now you know how to make the corners. Now I'm so excited for you guys because we have two beautiful corners. Then we just made this one. Again, your seam allowances are pushed towards the center. Okay, I don't have another made, so I'm just gonna lay my pieces for you guys. Okay, so you need to finish all 4 of them before you go to this next step. And the next step is you're gonna grab those gorgeous little sashing strip units right there, and you're gonna place it this way into the block. Yes, every seam allowance, if you follow the pattern, is pushed the right way, that everything should work out great. We also need a cute little square for the center. And look what happened now. You're gonna go ahead and take this, place it right sides together, just like that. Seam allowance perfectly nesting, pin, pin, stitch. Let me do one for you guys so you see how nice this worked out. Okay, orange towards the center. You're paying attention to the colors. So all your colors are shading and moving the right way. We just did that one. I always love to right away clip the threads. Look at this, isn't that nice? And this time, let's check our pressing. I think that's important. Oh, this pressing needs to go towards the center of the block. So all of the seams were pushed towards the center. We're gonna do the same thing on this side. Place this right sides together, sew it, and then push the seam allowances towards the middle right there. Then we're gonna go ahead and sew the middle unit, what it's 2 strip units like this. And then we're gonna go ahead and place a square right there, sew it, flip it open. I'm so excited for you guys. This is gonna be great. Do the same thing on this side, flip it open. And the same in the bottom, it's exactly the same than the top unit, where you're gonna sew everything together and then sew this to this and this to this. And I love what happened, because if you pressed the seams the right way, everything went towards the middle, and then we pushed those seams towards the middle, so that way you have a beautiful block, and all that you have to do is square it up for this cute little Babcia square. There's one thing that I noticed when I was making units, and sometimes this units right here, sometimes you question if your 1/4 inch seam allowance was the correct 1/4 inch, if everything is moving along really good. It's good to take a ruler, place it right over, and check to make sure that it is the correct size, and then trim it if needed. If you're trimming, I always make sure, because these parts are the important ones, you do not want to trim much right here. So you want to lay your ruler this way, okay, this way, and it is, look at this. I have a little trimming to do from the light, but my other strips right here, I don't want to be trimming a lot, maybe just the threads, just tiny bit, because the center of the block, you do not want to change anything about it. And now 3.5 by 3.5 should be my units, and it is, and just a little bit trimming on the top right there. Oh, my ruler is low slippery. I better get those little double stickies, so that when my ruler is not sliding. I just got those for another ruler, and it was so nice, because brand new rulers, they usually have a little bit more slippery to them. But look at this, I just finished this unit. And another advice, if your ruler is moving and sliding, what you need is a bigger ruler. That's all that you need, because that way, notice it, how I place my pieces. That may be the most fun lesson. When I place it, I can hold this right here, nothing is slipping and sliding. But when it's a smaller ruler and you just placing here, it has a little bit more tendency to wiggle. So another little good tip and advice for you guys. If your ruler is twisting and turning and sliding, get a bigger ruler. Don't use the tiny one. I love those little ones, especially for cutting my strip sets. But for trimming blocks, I love nice and big rulers. So right there, you can always trim that unit, and then you know it's perfect quarter of your block. And with all this beautiful trimming and clipping, look at this gorgeous block we have now. So you're gonna be ready, set, go to make more of them for a beautiful quilt. I am so excited that you took the time and wanted to watch our video. Thank you for doing this. Make sure you give us thumbs up and leave us comment. Make sure you visit our website at Laundry Basket Quilts for beautiful kits like Babcia Square, what it means Grandma Square. Now you're learning another language too. We have the matching pattern for that quilt. And if you are excited about our our Twinkle collection, I love this fabric, and they're perfect for any scrappy and fun and colorful quilts if you want to add a little color to it. And I have fun patterns like Illusion, this one behind me, so called Trixie, or our Alaska, that can be made with those beautiful, beautiful fabrics. If you wanted to, go to our website and enjoy all of those gorgeous designs. And we have the patterns, and we can't wait to do more quilting with you. Happy quilting, and I hope your Babcia Square is full of beautiful blocks.